श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ओम। श्रुतिस्मृति आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। सदा च भूतेषु समोऽस्मि केवलः यथा च खं सर्वगमक्षरं शिवम्। निरन्तरं निष्कलमक्रियं परम् ततो न मेऽस्तीह फलं तवेहितैः। It's an address to the mind. It's a dialogue between myself and the mind, not my mind, just mine. You need not say my mind, nobody will take it away. Nobody wants it also. They have their own mind and that is enough nuisance for them. So, myself and the mind. So that way you maintain that space, that inner space. Oh, is it missed out? Yeah, we have finished. So, that space, inner space, you have to work on that. Did anybody tell you that people want the outer space? They are keen about outer space. Like, suppose you are sitting somewhere and you want the area around you to be left to yourself. And if possible, the next seat also, better nobody occupies it, so that you can use that space. So we want the outer space. They build huge houses because they want more of space. In India, we occupy the government land and push our house onto the government land so that we get more space. They are called kuluncha. Kulunchanam pataye namaha. Ku is Pruthivi. Luncha means stealing. So those who steal the property, the land, so steal from government and if possible steal from the neighbor also. So we want more space somehow. And then people want to explore the outer space. What is there in the outer space? You want to explore. So put a telescope and explore it. That is all fine, you know. And they sit in a rocket and go up and try to explore the outer space. So people are very busy in exploring the outer space. They want more of it. But it never occurs to them that they have to create that inner space. Outer space is not important. You don't need a lot of space. There is the famous story, how much space a person needs. 6 by 3 feet, 6 feet by 3 feet, some such a thing it is said. Some story, some Leo Tolstoy's story, etc. you must have read in the childhood. So a person needs how much space? 6 feet by 3 feet to dig a hole. Nothing more than that. Therefore that inner space, so you get it by looking at the mind and by lecturing to the mind. You have to lecture to the mind. This is a process. I mean, this is a method adopted by great Mahatmas, as I have said already. So, namestiha phalam tava ihitaihi. He is addressing the mind. Oh, silly mind, me phalam iha means in this world, also in this life, me to me, phalam purpose or result or reward nasti. There is no reward for me. I am not interested in any reward. From what? From your movement. Tava ihita ihi. The mind is always projecting and imagining. It imagines and a thing, and then it wants that thing. That is how the mind moves. And then the mind imagines insecurity also. It is afraid all the time. Suppose your mind is moving, which it is all the time. So means how is it moving? What is the nature of that movement? Either it is seeking something or it is afraid of something. This is how it is moving. Whether it is a social, in the worldly movement, or it is a religious movement. In both cases, the mind is either seeking something or is afraid of something. And the religion doesn't help either, because it promotes the seeking, more and more of it. And it creates the fear and then offers a solution. The religion creates a fear, first creates a fear and then offers a solution. Like I will demonstrate to you. I am sitting and reading something, and then a person comes. Or they invite me to a home for bhiksha, and I go and go inside and look around and look at the person or his wife, look at her face and say, "It seems there is kuja dosha for you." You say that. Kuja dosha means the kuja is one of the planets above, very busy going round the sun. And that kuja, the planet, it decides to mess up with your life. And it imparts a blemish into your life. This is called kuja dosha. And you say that to the person. Enough. Even before giving bhiksha, you have done some mischief already. And now the person is put on the roller coaster of fear. Something happens, things happen, you know. For example, that day the person has to catch a bus. And there was some accident, therefore the bus was cancelled. Therefore the kuja dosha. That Mahatma told kuja dosha, you know. That's why bus is cancelled. Or some money you are supposed to get did not come. Oh, kuja dosha. For everything kuja dosha. And so put the fear in the person's mind. This is the greatest disservice. And it is the monstrosity of ignorance, I tell you. And then offer a solution. So now what should we do? You have to do a ritual. How much will... so ritual worshipping Lord Rama? No. Worshipping Lord Rama doesn't help. Maybe Lord Shiva we want to... No, it doesn't help. Krishna, Gita Charya, we want to worship Krishna. That also won't help. You have to worship something other than all these things. So offer a solution. How much will it cost? Some 40,000 rupees or 50,000 rupees. What a misfortune. The person may be sincere about it. That means he is sincerely ignorant. So you can understand that. But some people, they are mischievous. They know that they are talking nonsense, but they talk because they are mischievous. You see, some of these things happen so badly. I am digressing badly. A gentleman, a woman was pregnant, and you can see she is pregnant. You can clearly see. And this man told her, "Hey lady, there is a kuja dosha for you." But you see the monstrosity of it. And she is in tears. And now he has offered a ritual costing 50,000 rupees. And now she was helpless, and she came to me, and it took a while for me. I have to work against many odds to convince her there is no such silly thing. At last she was convinced, hopefully she was convinced more or less. Because it is easy to create mischief. It is not easy to erase the mischief. The person is fundamentally insecure and therefore imagines. This is the mind. O mind, I know how you move. Tava ihitaihi me phalam nasti. In this life, I make a declaration, O mind, I am not interested in your movements. Meaning, iha is cheshta. So meaning your desires, your fears, your insecurities, I am not interested. I don't see any meaning in it. I don't see any worth in it. So phalam me nasti. That is how he is addressing the mind. In doing so, you transcend the mind. So it is a battle that you have to win against yourself. It's a battle. You need not win any battles outside. In the outside world, you need not win any battle. You have to win a battle against yourself. A person approached me and asked me, Swamiji, I am fighting a battle against my partner, business partner. They were partners at one time. These business partners are like that. He wants a partner to start a business because he is afraid of starting the business all by himself. He is insecure. Somebody else is there, it's a prop. And so two people together let us do. So that if we have to sink both of them together, we will sink. That gives some sense of security. And therefore they start, all business people start as partners only. This is the psychology of the partnership in business. And then they work together, their very camaraderie is there, work together very well as long as the business doesn't turn into profit. It takes a while, 2 years, 3 years, then the profit begins. Till then they are best friends. Once the profit starts coming, they will start fighting. And then they break up. Sometimes they break up amicably, it's fine. Sometimes the breakup could be very messy, and so this person feels that he is cheated, and so he goes to court. And then he approached me. These Swamis are supposed to help all these litigants. Kya baat hai? The Swamis are waiting for these litigants so that they will offer solutions. So, what a travesty of truth. So anyway, this Swami, so he came to me. I am Swami, you know. So he asked my advice. I told, I will give you an advice. How much will it cost? It won't cost anything. Free service. I will give you. But I have a feeling that you won't follow it. No, I will follow it, you tell me. You have to win a battle, right? Yes. Against the no. Against then whom? Against yourself. What is that? So your mind is seeking revenge, and it is greedy because it wants to get more from the partner in the profit share more. So this is the mind you are dealing with, and your enemy is your mind. You have to win a battle against your mind. You need not win a battle against him. Then he will keep all that money with himself. God bless him. Let him keep his money. You are safe. You don't need all that money. You are doing quite all right. And you called me for bhiksha and you are about to give a dakshina also. So you are doing fine. Why do you need more money? You don't need all that money. You can give a call to him and bless him and ask him to keep the money. But what about the suit that is in the court? You just drop a letter to them that you are withdrawing. And you, in doing so, you withdraw the suit and dial the person and tell him, God bless you, you keep the money with yourself. In doing so, you win a battle, a real battle against your own ignorant mind. I advised that. You know what happened? He followed it. The amount involved is $100,000 and he followed it. Later what happened, I did not follow it up, but that is how it happens. So you have to win a battle against your own mind. You must be able to say, Namestiha phalam tavehitaihi, with your mind. What could be the reason? Tataha, because, therefore. So that reason is described in the rest of the verse. There is always a therefore, you know. Why should I say like that with the mind? For this reason. What is that? Sadacha bhuteshu samosmi kevalaha. You see, I am samaha. In Gita, Gita is the lexicon of human experience or human existence. And in Gita, the word samaha is most liked by Sri Krishna. In fact, you can do some Google searching and tell me how many times Sri Krishna used the word sama in Gita. Everywhere he uses the word sama. Samashatraucha mitrecha. Tulya is synonym of sama. Tulya nindastutir mauni. Sama. So, sama, Sanskrit, same. English, you see? Those words, sama, same. So, sameness. Therefore, the principle of sameness. So, I am the same always. Sada means always. I am the same in all life forms. This is the sameness. This, you can readily remember a verse from Gita, like Vidya Vinaya Sampanne Brahmane Gavi Hastini Shuni Chaiva Shvapakecha Pandita Samadarshinaha. Who is a Pandita? Pandita is a realized soul. That is the Pandita. Pandita, that Itach, I think, that Panda Asya Sanjata, Bhashyakara. So Panda Jnanam, the self-knowledge happened to this person. In that sense of the sutra, Tadhita Sutra is Tadasya Sanjata, that is the sutra. Tadasya Sanjata, that happened to this guy. In that sense, the Ita will come. Pushpani Asya Sanjatani, Pushpito Vrukshaha, Pushpita, Phalita, Pandita, Ita. So Panda. The person is a realized soul. Knowledge happened to this person. He is a realized soul. Who is the realized soul? Samadarshinaha, who sees the sameness. You see the sameness. That is the Samadarshanam. So, samsaris are those are the ignorant people who see the differences. So, the divisions and the differences. Therefore, here is a vision in which you are focused on fragmentation. You are a samsari, and here is a vision in which you are focused on integration or oneness or sameness. You are a realized soul. In calculus, mathematics, there are two major branches. One is differentiation. You take a thing and go on differentiating it, making it to piece after piece and piece and piece and piece. Differentiation. And the opposite process is integration. So you take all the tiny pieces and integrate them into one. So in our life we should not pursue differentiation or fragmentation. Differentiation means fragmentation. You have to pursue integration. Means your focus must be on the sameness, samatvam. Like what? Take this example, Vidya Vinaya Sampanne Brahmane. He is the embodiment of Sattva Guna. And then Gavi Hastini, embodiment of Rajoguna. The cow and the elephant, they represent Rajoguna. And Shunicheva Shvapakecha, the dog, the street dog, not the pet dog. We don't talk of pet dogs. So, because the idea of pet dog itself is alien. Anyway, so the street dog. Dog means street dog. You know, Indian literature is like that. Street dog. And then Shvapaka, one who cooks meat. Okay? Take it like that. So that is the Tamoguna. Meat stands for Tamoguna. So, the embodiment of Tamoguna. Therefore, you see the difference, it is obvious. Strikingly different. You know, Sattvaguna, Rajoguna, Tamoguna. Strikingly different. In spite of the outward striking difference, the Pandita is one who sees the sameness in spite of the striking differences, the sameness. So, there is so much fragmentation in our thinking. Fragmentation is not physical fragmentation, you know. The psychological fragmentation is our problem, and so you have to overcome that. And so, it is sameness in the sense you should overcome the psychological fragmentation. So, for example, in that illustration of Gita verse, so you have to see the same in all the three. The same in all the three is, at one level, at a lower level, prana, life force, is the same. A Brahmana gives a he recites mantras, very sacred and all that. And there is a life force behind that. And then an elephant and a cow, they are living beings, living animals. Animals have some brute power in them. They are called brutes in any case. Therefore, the power of life force you can see in them. And then the dog and the one who cooks the meat for eating purpose, they have a life force in them too. The dog, it can smell from 1 mile distance. That is the power of life in a dog. Its smelling faculty is highly improved compared with other, especially with human beings. And then the one who cooks meat means he kills and cooks. It's not easy to kill. So therefore that there is life in him. And therefore the life, and all the three, the life behind their expressions is the same. It is like in a 0 candle bulb and in a 1,000 candle bulb, the electricity is the same. The expressions are entirely opposite to each other, but the spirit, the power behind them is the same. This is called pranopasana. In Upanishads, you find this pranopasana everywhere. It is there in Prashnopanishad. Everywhere it is there. In every Upanishad you get it. And in Chandogya it is there. So in Chandogya is the Saptamadhyaya, Bhuma Vidya. So pranopasana, and then over and above that comes Bhuma Vidya. So pranoha pita, prano mata ityadi. Therefore there it says, you call pita, but it is prana. It is the life force. You call mata, different from pita, but where is different? Pranoha pita, prano vai mata. Mata, whatever you call is also the vital force only. So outwardly the Namarupa are different, but the power behind these Namarupas, the power that is operating these names and forms is the same. Therefore you look at prana and you arrive at the sameness. But then that is not the ultimate, Ultimate is Atma. Aprano yamana shubhraha. Atma is neither prana nor vijnana. There are two faculties within. There was a question about it from one of the students. So there are two faculties within you, two powers. Shakhayor dvayi shakti molaka, Upadeshasara. So, two branches of the same power. That means two kinds of power. What is that? Kriya Shakti, called prana, and Vijnana Shakti, the Vijnana. It is called Vijnana. So the faculty of knowing, eyes, ears, etc. are Vijnana Shakti, mind also. And then legs, hands, speech, etc. is the prana Shakti. Of course, other organs also, heart, pumping blood and all that. So these are the two powers. But then power is not the ultimate. There is the origin of the power. Therefore, this prana Shakti and also Vijnana Shakti, they originate from the Atma, that awareness absolute, the pure being. From the Satchid Atma, from there these two powers operate. They originate, they arise. And therefore, when you look at prana, you are looking at the sameness, that is the pranopasana. If you look at vijnana, you will not arrive at the sameness. That's why pranopasana. Vijnana is different from person to person to person. The intellect is different. Like a dog's intellect is very sharpened in one particular direction, that is smell. Whereas a human intellect is not so powerful when it comes to smell. It is intellect only, smell, everything is intellect only. Human intellect is sharpened in a different direction. Therefore, vijnana, there are differences. But in prana, there are no differences. Prana is one and the same. So, in arriving at the sameness, the lower level of contemplation is pranopasana. It is highly recommended. So that, suppose a person came to me and he is saying things which are not appropriate. He is talking some nonsense with me, and therefore he is insulting me or hurting me. Therefore, he is the enemy. This is the worldly thinking. But then he is talking and he is hurling the words at me. He is throwing some abusive words at me. But what is the power behind that action, that speech? Prana. And I am hearing what all he is saying, the faculty of hearing. What is the power behind the faculty of hearing? Prana. That's why all the indriyas are called pranaha. Prana is indriya. The life force, vital force is there behind the faculty of hearing also. Atma is there, but look at prana. Therefore, now prana is abusing and prana is getting hurt, right? Prano hapita, prano mata. So the abusing one is the prana and the abused one is also the prana. Therefore, you go one step behind and look at the person. And now the Namarupa are no more valid. The prana is the same. Therefore, I don't mind. I smile at him. You got the point? So it is possible to smile in the face of calumny or in the face of abuse. It is possible to smile. Mahatmas are like that. You cannot insult a Mahatma. You cannot. He refuses to be insulted. Now what will you do? So suppose somebody, Swami Vivekananda said, suppose somebody calls me idiot. I smile. I do not accept that epithet. I don't accept it. I don't take it. And therefore I smile. Therefore that idiot word remains with him. He has to deal with it. I am not accepting it. I am not taking it. I smile. Because I know that I am not an idiot. I know. And therefore I don't accept the epithet. Suppose somebody calls me idiot and immediately I become angry. That means I have accepted that I am an idiot. Then only I become angry. Now I am angry against my own idiocy rather than him. That is how the fragmentation begins. Therefore, anyway, the point is when you reach the level of prana, you have already reached the sameness. And this is the reason why all Upanishads present pranopasana in them, most of the Upanishads. So, I only quoted Chandogya. Of course, in Brihadaranyaka there is pranopasana. In the second or third Brahmana itself, pranopasana begins. In Prashnopanishad there is pranopasana. In the very beginning itself it is there. And also, elsewhere also there is pranopasana. Therefore, that pranopasana means contemplating upon the vital force takes you to the sameness. You are able to go beyond the differences. But then that is upasana. That is not the ultimate subject matter of Vedanta. In Vedanta we go one step above. That is Atma. And once again, Atma, the word Atma or Brahma is okay. Atma, the word Atma, the moment you hear it, it appears as if it is something different from you or away from you. That is how the conditioning is like that. So people are conditioned to believe that Atma, they are not yet the Atma. It will happen in future. As of now, I am not the Atma yet. Then what are you? I am a samsari as of now. I am an ajnani. Or I am a sannyasi, some title you take. A worldly title. Sannyasi is also a worldly title. Within the samsara only, that is also. Or you take some other title. I am a president of an ashram or whatever. Something like that. Therefore, so what about Atma? Atma, what do you think of Atma? It is not that easy. It takes lives. A few lives are required to know Atma. And you need Ishvara's grace for getting Atma Jnanam. Which is true. Which is true. Then get it. No, Ishvara's grace not this life. It will come later. So you are just waiting before a painted door. It won't open. So you should not look at Atma like that. That's why I tell you, Atma, the word Atma is the sense of I am. That is the Atma. Take it that way. The sense of I am. Now, you cannot say the sense of I am is conceptual. It is not. It is not conceptual. The sense of I am is you. And concept comes from the sense of I am. First the sense of I am, then any concept will arise from that. Therefore, sense of I am is with you all the time. You are the sense of I am. So, as you sit here and now, you are the sense of I am, the primordial, the fundamental sense of I am. That is what you are. And everything else comes from there. It is the foundation of your being. That is the sense of I am. Take that as Atma. It is not exactly the Atma. It is the window to the truth. Okay? And it is the boundary between the real and the unreal. This I amness is the boundary between real and the unreal. I amness turned away from the world is with the real. I amness turned away from the real is with the world, with the samsara. It is the boundary. Therefore, that sense of I amness, you focus on that, you explore that. You look into the book and explore the conceptual Atma. And now what Sri Krishna said about Atma, what Shankara said about Atma, what Vivaranacharya said about Atma, what Chitsukhacharya said about Atma, what Madhusudani says about Atma. You want to explore like that only all the time? Don't you want to explore in yourself? All these books are meant to explore within yourself. They are not meant to make you scholars that way. So, I am not against scholarship. I encourage people to study Vyakaranam and all that and be thorough in Sanskrit, pronounce properly, say things properly. I am not against it. But you cannot make it into the goal, the ultimate. It can only be a tool. You sharpen the tool and keep it in very good condition. The grammar, Sanskrit, language, literature, and the texts of Vedanta, everything should be in tip-top condition. But the focus must be, they are all pointing out to the moon. They are all like the finger, pointing finger of the moon. So the moon is in you, the Atma is in you, that I amness. So explore I amness. What is I am? So I am is the sense of being. That is the definition of I am. The sense of being. Sense means chit, being means sat. That sense of being can be elaborated as I am and I know that I am. That is the sense of being. Right? I am and I know that I am. Now people talk of pramana and all that. What is the pramana? When I know that I am, what pramana you are operating there? You tell me. Is it prachaksha? Not. Is it anumana? Not. Is it upamana? Comparison? Not. Is it shabda? It is written in the book, therefore I know that I am. Is that so? Suppose I ask you, are you? Just wait, let me consult. So you take the Vedanta book and consult. Yes, I am. Is that what you say? So what pramana is there? And if you operate a pramana to know that I am, if I have to operate a pramana to know that I am, then the I am cannot be aprameya. Atma is avinashinaha aprameyasya. It is aprameya. It is something that cannot be reached with pramana. Like with perception, with conception, you cannot reach there. Then how to reach? You need not reach. You are that. Tattvamasi. And therefore, the I am, that by which I know that I am. How is that vakya? Who handle that? Keep it with you. It's a beautiful, it's somehow blurted out. I did not plan it, but it came out. I am that. What are you? I am that by which I know that I am. Therefore, this I am, it is the aprameya, it is beyond all the pramanas. Aprameya. No, Shastram pramanam. Shastram antyantu Shastram antyam pramanam. Anashino prameyasya Gita bhashya. You look at the bhashya. Shastram to antyam pramanam. Shastra is the ultimate pramana. How? Atadharmadhyaropa nivritti matrataya. So this I amness, you attach all kinds of things to that I amness. This is atadharmadhyaropa. Things that are not, things that do not belong to the I amness, you superimpose on the I amness. Tadharma. I amness is sat and chit. The body dharmas, birth and death, are not tadharma, they are atadharma. And atadharma, not its attributes. What are birth and death? They are not the attributes of I amness, but they are the attributes of the body. And now you superimpose those attributes on the I amness. And Shastra comes and tells you, don't do that. And so you stop attributing tadharmas, atadharmas upon the I amness. You stop attributing. The Shastra has done its job. Now Shastra has no more role to play. Shastra won't show you. The finger won't show you the moon. You have to see the moon. Finger won't show you the moon. Finger shows you the direction in which you have to see. Finger cannot tell you what you have to see. Finger can only tell you the direction in which you have to see. Are you getting it? Okay. Anyway, sometimes I am amused by what I say myself. You should be prepared to listen to new things. Shall I say only what same gramophone record that the guru is spoiled? Same thing you want me to say? Can I say new things? Can I use new language? Be free and let me be free. Be free. Be the apprentices of freedom. So, freedom is not I do whatever I like. That is not freedom, Don't misunderstand freedom. That is licentiousness. That is not freedom. Freedom is freedom from desires, freedom from conditioning, freedom from fragmentation, freedom from insecurity. That is the freedom I am talking about. So, anyway, so I am, this I am. It is, so you know I am by being I am. Anyway, that is a different topic. So look at that fundamental sense of being I am. This I am is same in all. The sense of I am in you, the sense of I am in me, the sense of I am in everybody who is sitting here, it is just the same. Unless you superimpose the body-mind's attributes upon that I amness. Don't superimpose, just leave it like that. Don't superimpose the body, the mind, the intellect, the ego. None of those things you should put on the I amness. Leave it alone. It is like, one nice example can be given, like ocean is one. Ocean is one. Oceans are not many. Ocean is one. But when it is adjacent to Japan, it is called Japan Sea. When it is adjacent to China, it is called China Sea. And when it is adjacent to India, it is called Indian Ocean. When it is adjacent to Arabia, it is called Arabian Ocean. Ocean or Sea, Arabian Sea. So, like that, it is called by different names. It is the same ocean. It is the same thing is called Atlantic Ocean when it is on this side of the continental America. When it is on the other side of continental America, it is called Pacific Ocean. So, like that, it is the same ocean. But as something else is added to that, the adjoining landmass is attached to this ocean. You cannot attach like that, but still you attach and give a name. Similarly, I am Swami, I am a family person, I am a child, I am youth, I am old, like that. So many things are attached to the I amness. In all those attachments, the I amness is just the same. This is the meaning of Vidya Vinaya Sampanne Brahmane. There is a sense of I amness in the animals also. The word I am is not there. The English expression I am is not there in the animal. But the sense of I am is already there in the animal. How do you know? You watch a street dog. When it looks at another street dog, when another street dog comes in its sight, it wags its tail. And when a cat comes in its sight, it growls. Oh, like that it will growl. There must be sense of I amness in that dog. Not in the language of English, but in its own way. It must have the sense of I amness in it. It recognizes another dog and it recognizes its enemy, born enemy, the cat. So the sense of I amness is there. Without the sense of I amness, it cannot make those moves. It moves with a wagging tail towards another dog. It moves ferociously towards a cat. All those movements cannot be there unless the primordial sense of I amness is there in it. Like on a rail track, a caterpillar is crawling, and then coming a rail engine, electric engine. Huge engine is coming, 6,500 horsepower, ABB engine is coming. And this caterpillar is just crawling on the rail. Between the two, the fundamental difference is that engine doesn't have the sense of I amness, whereas the caterpillar has the sense of I amness. Now what will happen after a minute or so, that is a different thing, but the caterpillar has something which the engine doesn't have, that sense of I amness. That is the Atma, and that is same in every living being. Samoham sadacha bhu, and that is what I am. I am not that which is fragmented and which is differentiated in terms of this body-mind. That persona I am not. I am that which is beyond all these fragmentations and which is common to all life forms. Samoham sadacha bhuteshu samosmi. You see, this samatvam yoga uchyate. Okay? It is said in the context of karma yoga, there siddhya siddhyos samo bhutva samatvam yoga uchyate. That is said in the context of karma yoga, no doubt. But still, if I can take it to a higher level, so this sense of sameness is real yoga. Why karma has become karma yoga? Because it is associated with the sense of sameness. That's why it became karma yoga. Therefore, the sense of sameness you have to cultivate. That is, one of the students has asked me how to expand. There was a question, how to expand. This is how you have to expand. So, you have to expand what? Your consciousness. The consciousness which presently is very constricted, narrow, petty, that consciousness you have to allow it to expand. It is not difficult, and it is not a product of effort also. Suppose with effort you expand it, once the effort is taken out, it will contract again. Like a balloon, like that you put pressure in it, it expands. You remove it and again it will go back. Therefore, Atmanjnanam is not like that. Therefore, it is not the product of an effort. So how to expand, how to arrive at this sameness of I amness? Once you know that, you see, what is love? What is love? Love is, as Rabindranath Tagore nicely described, it is unity in diversity. You see, you are standing before me, means we are facing one another. But I see myself in you. That is what love is. So love is a unity in diversity. Though we are physically separate, physically, psychologically different entities, in that level we are two different entities, but at a deeper level we are one. That is what love is. Okay? Love is unity in diversity. So, And that is the sameness. And that sameness, you see, Brihadaranyaka describes in vivid details, yatha priyaya samparishvaktaha ityadi. So, you look at the beloved, this person looks at the beloved and sees the beloved as the other. There is no love. Anything else can be there, but there is no love. He looks at the beloved, but sees never as the other. The sense of otherness is absent. That is love. And therefore, that sense of sameness you have to cultivate. How to cultivate it? Oh, sameness, sameness, same. That is not how to cultivate it. It is all negation. Negative understanding is the highest understanding. This is Vedanta, you know. It's all negation. And in philosophy, negation occupies the highest place. Negation, not rejection. And so, I was addressing a seminar, and one of the students asked me, whatever you have negated will come back and bite you. I said, dear son, you got it wrong. Whatever you have rejected may come back and bite you, not whatever you have negated. When you are looking at the rope and imagine the serpent, and then in your wisdom you negate it, that won't come and bite you. It won't come and bite you. Because suppose there is a real serpent and you close your eyes. Ah, come on, we will deal with it later. Forget about it. Then it will bite you. That is called rejection. What you reject will bite you. What you negate will not bite you. Why? Because it is never there. Therefore, don't worry about that coming back and biting you. So, therefore, you have to arrive at the sameness through a process of negation. What is the negation? You have to negate the fragmentation. The psychological fragmentation you have to negate. How to negate fragmentation? Why there is fragmentation? Like, I tell you how fragmentation. There is a sociological fragmentation. Like we are Brahmanas, they are Kshatriyas, they are Vaishyas. This kind of a sociological fragmentation is there. This fragmentation is because of insecurity. You are insecure, therefore you fragment yourself. Like Brahmatam Paradat, Yonyatratmanaha Brahma Veda. Kshatram Tam Paradat, Yonyatratmanaha Kshatram Veda. You must have heard some of these vakyas from Maitreyi Brahmana of Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. Suppose I say, just I am putting in my own language, suppose I say I am a Dutch man. Suppose I say, I am a Dutch man. The moment I say I am a Dutch man, I have divided the humanity into Dutch and non-Dutch. And I stand with the Dutch against the non-Dutch. And if the non-Dutch try to do something to me, I am with all the Dutch, and so they provide security to me. This is what it is. This is the sociological fragmentation. As long as you look into your mind, are you operating sociological fragmentation psychologically? If you are, you will never know the truth of the self. You will never reach samaha. Suppose I demonstrate to you, I call myself, I am a sannyasi, you are all grahasthas. Therefore I am superior. How can I know the truth of the self? No way. And then suppose I am in the middle of sannyasis. I am a Brahmana sannyasi. They are all Reddy Kamma sannyasis. I am a Brahmana sannyasi. So, therefore, I will never come to know the truth. And then suppose I am studying Vedanta. And I come across some other students who are studying Vedanta. So we are this group and that is another group. Therefore our Vedanta is different, their Vedanta is different. Our Vedanta is superior. Their Vedanta is not superior. Our Vedanta is traditional. Theirs is non-traditional. We are pure Vedantins. They are Neo-Vedantins. Means fit for nothing Vedantins, ityartha. Neo-Vedanta. Suppose a Neo-Vedantin tells the truth, now what will you do with that? Now what will you do with him and what will you do with the truth? So this kind of a sociological fragmentation, are you a victim of that? You look at it. And there is sociological fragmentation. It is a psychological fragmentation, not physical. India is a land of fragmentation. India is the most heterogeneous society. You look at the elections going on in UP. Very heterogeneous society. It is like a melting pot. Yet we are together. We are one nation. There is something which keeps all these disparate elements together. There is something. What could be that something? Must be God's power. A Russian who was an atheist in those socialist days, communist days, came as an ambassador to India. And when he returned, he was a theist. No more an atheist. He said, there is God. Why? Because India is a functional country. That's why there is God. Really. He termed it, India is a functional anarchy. If it is anarchy, then there is no God. But it is a functional, therefore there is God. So, anyway, so this is called sociological fragmentation. It is very sickening. When you see sociological fragmentation of a community or a society, it gives a sense of sickness in you, in your mind. And when you see it among Vedantins, it is the height of ignorance, I tell you. We should come out of that sociological fragment. You should become free. Free from this kind of sociological fragmentation. You should not operate it. Because what happens if I am a fragment? I become a fragment, you know. Suppose I say I am a sannyasi. I am a fragment of the society. Not one with the other parts of the society. I am a fragment. So if I am a fragment, I create more fragments. Then 4 students are studying with me. I am a fragment. Now I create another 4 fragments. So, therefore, this is how we develop a fragmentation, and you have to overcome these fragmentations. I can go on speaking about it, but then we will come back. So, sadacha bhuteshu samosmi. Therefore, I am the same. Therefore, kevalaha. I am one without the second. Kevalaha. You see, moksha, did you notice this? You are students of Vedanta, you should have noticed some of these very critical aspects of Vedantic wisdom. Moksha has a few synonyms. One of the critical synonyms of moksha is kaivalyam. What is kaivalyam? Kevalasya bhavaha. Kevalasya bhavaha kaivalyam. Tasya bhavaha. So kaivalyam. So means what? You are akela. That is, kevala is akela. So means you are the one and the one without the second. That is moksha. Means the moment there is fragmentation, there is no moksha anymore. And when all kinds of fragmentation comes to end, means I am like space, the space like consciousness, boundless, divisionless, fragmentless consciousness. That is a very practical. It is not some philosophical discourse or any. Of course it is philosophical discourse, but at the same time it is very practical. For example, I come across another person. I do not look at him as the other. He is myself in another cloak, in another garment. I come across an animal. It is myself in another upadhi, adjunct. So like that, you alone are. Everything I am. So I am everything. And so I am the scholar, and I am the ignorant. And I am the male and I am the female. So, did you hear some of these mantras? Tvam kumara utava kumari, tvam jirno dandena vanchasi. It's a Rigveda mantra. So you are the young man. Not only you are the young man, but also you are a young woman, Kumari. And then I am the old man walking with a staff. There the address is to God, you. That Atma, which is you. Tvam jirno dandena vanchagatau. Vanchasi means gechasi. So, tvam jirno dandena vanchasi. Tvam stri, tvam pumanasi. You are the woman and you are the man or male. Like that. So, this is how the same sense of I amness, I alone am. There is no friend, there is no foe. There is only divinity, which is the sense of I am, which is expressing here as the pure sense of I am. So when you abide in that pure sense of I am, all these fragmentations will fall off. They get negated. Because fragmentation means you have to add something to that I am. Like I am Christian, like China Sea, Japan Sea, Arabian Sea. Similarly, I am Christian. In English, you put it later, you can put it in the front also. Like China Sea, Japan Sea, Arabian Sea. Christian I am, Hindu I am, European I am, Indian I am. So, all these things like China Sea, Japan Sea, like that you are adding. Unless you add a fragment, there cannot be many in the I amness. There cannot be a division in the I amness. The division in the I amness comes only when you add a fragment. You add a fragment because your thinking is fragmentational, or in terms of fragments you are thinking. So stop thinking in terms of fragments. Why you think as fragment in the first place? Because of insecurity. You see, why we say we are traditional? Because of insecurity. You see, whenever there is a system, you want to belong to the system. Why? Because it gives you a sense of security. The psychological sense of security it gives you when you belong to the system. And you seek that psychological security. You are seeking such psychological security means what? You are not free. You are bound. Suppose you are not seeking psychological security, that is what is called freedom. Therefore, in tradition, you seek psychological security. In religion, you don't seek emancipation in religion. You seek psychological security. And that's why one religion fights against the other religion, because it sees a threat in the other religion. Why threat? Because it is seeking security in this religion, and therefore sees a threat in the other religion. So now you have become a part of fragmentation. So as long as you seek security in any system, I am an American. God bless America. I am an American. Why God bless only America, not anything else? So, like that, God is with our religious group. God is not with any other religious group. This is how some of these monolithic religions talk. So, this kind of, all this talk, it sounds very emphatic and also very big, but really speaking, it is originating from a sense of insecurity. And we are seeking security in these systems. Like, I am a tradition, we belong to the tradition of such and such a tradition, whereas you are a non-traditional person. Once I was, a Mahatma asked me, what are you teaching nowadays? I said, some students are there and I am teaching Saddarshanam. He said, why do you teach Saddarshanam? Why not? No, it is not a traditional book. It is in Sanskrit. And it is written by one of the greatest of the poets, Kavyakantha, Sri Ganapati Muni. There are poems in his throat, Kavyakantha. And and it is one of the most beautiful books of Vedanta. So why should I not teach? It may be beautiful, but it is not traditional. What do you mean by traditional? Ramana Maharshi is not a traditional. He is a non-traditional. I got a fit when I heard that. So, by calling Ramana Maharshi non-traditional, you are trying to stamp yourself as traditional, thereby you are seeking security in the tradition. Therefore, your thinking is fragmentation. In terms of fragmentation, how can you know the truth, which is one? You have to think all these things. Simply saying samas sarveshu bhuteshu, etc., etc., it doesn't happen that way. So all kinds of fragmentation you have to give up. And in every fragmentation, in every thought process of fragmentation, you are fundamentally seeking security. You have to notice that and give up. And stop seeking security. Why should you seek security? You are the most secure entity in this entire creation. You are the truth, and you are seeking security from the falsehood. That is called ignorance, ajnana. You are the truth. Truth seeking security from the falsehood. Can you believe it? Truth and falsehood are walking side by side on the beach. They were talking with each other. Truth said, hey, oh falsehood, you can do nothing to me because I alone exist. You do not even exist. What can you do to me? Then the falsehood said, yeah, true, what you said is right, but I can organize you. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate